Gacy was well known in his community as a successful businessman and a community volunteer who often performed as Pogo the Clown at local events and children's parties. His outward appearance as a friendly, helpful man hid his darker side, where he lured young men and boys to his home, where he would torture, sexually assault, and eventually murder them. The crawl space. One of the most horrifying aspects of Gacy's crimes was where he disposed of his victims. After killing them, Gacy would bury the bodies in the crawl space beneath his house. Over time, the stench from the decomposing bodies became overwhelming, leading Gacy to cover the smell with lime and concrete. By the time he was caught, 26 bodies had been found buried in the crawl space, with additional victims found elsewhere on his property and dumped in nearby rivers.
Gacy's victims were often young men who had been reported missing by their families. Many of them were runaways, drifters, or boys he had hired for temporary work. One of the key turning points in the investigation was the disappearance of 15-year-old Robert Piest in December 1978. Piest was last seen talking to Gacy about a job opportunity. When Piest didn't return home, his family reported him missing, leading investigators to focus on Gacy. As police investigated Piest's disappearance, they began to suspect Gacy. A search of Gacy's home initially turned up some suspicious items, including a high school ring and driver's licenses belonging to other missing boys. However, it wasn't until a second search, conducted after Gacy had been placed under surveillance, that police discovered the bodies in the crawl space. Gacy was arrested on December 21, 1978. While on death row, Gacy took up painting, creating a series of artworks that were later sold at auction. Many of his paintings were of clowns, including self-portraits as Pogo the Clown. The paintings have been controversial, with some seeing them as morbid reminders of his crimes. Many were destroyed by the families of his victims or purchased by collectors who later burned them. Gacy's crimes left a deep scar on the families of his victims and the community where he lived. His case also highlighted the need for better communication between law enforcement agencies, as he had previously been convicted of sexually assaulting a boy in Iowa before moving to Illinois, where he committed his murders. Gacy's story continues to be studied by criminologists and has been the subject of numerous books, documentaries, and films, reflecting the enduring horror and fascination with his double life as a killer and a community figure.